Hello everybody, today is Wednesday morning, like US morning. Let's have a look at the charts. We had some excitable price action events. Well, we had a sell-off here, right, in US equities. I think that was due to the tariff talks. Well, when there's a sell-off, sometimes I look at what the news was, sometimes I don't, but I'm not necessarily, I don't need to know, right, because the charts tell everything. And we had already identified that as a test bar while it continues lower, right? So now we clearly have a test bar, and this is the last dominant high. So it is still an S2 pattern. The reward to risk, well, the risk as such is not great, right? Because the entry is coming a bit late. So let's see what happens. What we see here is, well, it's basically overshooting, right, the moving averages. Because if you think that the 21 is kind of a balance point, well, we've overshot the 21 by far. And we're finding support here. This was the original base I was drawing for an S1. Well, maybe an S1 could come into play again. Here we could see another sell-off and produce a test bar beyond the base. So we've got an S2 pattern as long as it doesn't leave the box here, the lowest low, or if it does go lower, we could see this develop into an S1 actually. So that gives more opportunity. And okay, so it has found support here. That's another touch on that price level. And we could actually see how it bounces back. Bounces where to? Well, to the 21 or to the last high. So it's basically a range play. And a range plays, well, they can be traded in lower time frames. So this is soon to be an EMA trend. This is EMA trending, and this allows for trading patterns on these lower time frames. We can actually see that pattern on the 1 minute. This could develop into an S2, right? Let's just draw the midline. The midline would be here, and the ATL goes here. It's not complete yet. So this is why I'm just putting the line here, and this one here, if this is the EMA trend, 2 time frames lower is the 15-second. So that very much looks like an S2. It even looks like a better S2 than the other one. This could be an S2 too. It's basically this second smaller consolidation within the overall consolidation, right? So this is tradable here on a 15-second chart. Let's just quickly put an ATL. So the ATL would basically go like this. So what we're seeing here, well, that's a test bar, right? Well, this is the last dominant low. From the test bar, we always look to the left. Well, the last dominant low, well, that's debatable now. Is it this one, or do you say give it a bit more room because this is just slightly higher, or is it this one? Well, in case of doubt, I'm more conservative, so I'm choosing either this one or actually this one. But we might leave the box to the downside, and then it becomes obsolete. Or then we might actually see how we have another higher low. Well, let's just determine what is the lowest low of this pattern. Well, we need to know what is the lowest price action. It's this wick here. This is the lowest price action. So that defines as this to be the lowest low. Then we can draw the ATL. It goes from here, line of best fit, cuts through this. I would say this is the best. This is the best ATL. And what we just see here as well is a test bar, right? This is complete because the right side is slightly longer than the left. It's not very harmonic. It's slightly tilted to the right. What I don't like that much is this price action here, and then this huge up move, the huge down move that makes it less balanced, right? Less harmonic. But the stop is relatively tight. We've got a touch of 21 already. We're not EMA trending yet, so I let that go to see whether this is just another higher low and to wait for another test bar to come later. So that's just an example here how we can, like with the first symbol we look at, well, we already find opportunities here for a snapback to moving averages. So what else do we have? Well, we have gold. Gold was not able to break to a new high. This is the range we have, right? So we had the opportunity, if it breaks higher, then it starts to run. Well, it did not, so it dropped back into the range. So for the time being, it's not that interesting. Even if this is an S1 pattern, well, this is an oval sideways, right? Which reduces the win rate for any S1 pattern. So we're in the middle of the range. So I actually want to see what's going to happen here. Does it break to the upside? Does it break to the downside? Gold is not in a very strong position right now, right? Because we could get a deeper pullback any time. Let's have a look at copper. Copper was in the news. I think Trump wants to put up tariffs on copper. Well, what do we see with copper? Well, these lower time frames are very bullish, right? We've got a fantastic stop run level here, so I wanna get into long trades. I immediately see that this is an S1 pattern. This is a test bar, big move, right? Taking out the first stop run level with a 21 touch, but it's not trending, right? So that's clearly not a trend because there's no trend edge at all. Still, I want to mark those patterns because if that moves nicely without having a high frame trend, well, that means that there's a lot of bullish pressure, bullish power in the market. Let's move on to energies. Crude was at a critical level 2. Let's see what happens. So that's this level, right? The daily chart was important chart, so it has broken lower yesterday. This critical level. So now we've dropped in this free fall territory where we have a series of stop run levels. So now it can move quite some distance. It can put in a move like that, right? And that's good for a couple of bars. So that's good for the rest of the week. Testing the 21, either touching as it did before. So the 21 was quite price level of support, or going beyond, like here. Ideally, any of these moving averages, price goes beyond, right? That's a really good and strong test. Price can bounce off nicely. So after this strong up move, I would like to see a strong test of the 21. That would be great for further bullishness to come in. But for the time being, the game plan basically is to trade a daily move lower, taking trades in lower time frames. So this is EMA trending. We've got a pattern here, well, with no trend, but this is EMA trending, so we could look for a pattern here on a 5 minute. I don't see much. That's too big of a pattern. This is a pattern on a 15 minute, but we don't have a trend yet. So not much going on. Still interesting to observe. The 1 minute is in an EMA trend, and the 1 minute, the 1 minute is in an EMA trend. With very similar chart pictures and the opportunity to the downside with heating oil and gasoline. Let's have a look now at natural gas. Natural gas, we have this counter trend rally, and as well the critical level. Well, this critical level was broken as well, and now we have the opportunity to pick this last stop run level. Are the bulls going to be strong enough to take it out? Well, if they do, we should see a quick move higher, like an exhaustion move to the upside, or it gets rejected. So whenever this is EMA trending, this is EMA trending. So taking trades on these time frames, this becomes a make or break trade, because either this level, the highs have just touched the level. Either these levels get rejected or broken through. It's kind of a make or break trade. If it makes it, a big move, but there's a good likelihood that it's not making it. Resistance, price is overextended, meeting resistance has already gone quite some distance, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if it's rejecting. But if the opportunity comes up with a tight risk, that's always possible, especially if you already have a few positive hours for the week. So with this being in an EMA trend and this too, so we've got a cluster of EMA trends, these two, that gives this EMA trend more strength, right? Because it's supported by the high frame EMA trend. Well, then this is a pattern. What we would in S1, what we would need is a test bar. So if we get a really tight, like a good test bar, rejection bar, that is relatively tight, because these bars are small, right? It doesn't need to be a big bar to make it an excitable price action event. It could go down here. And we're close to the 21, so it doesn't need to go much lower. So we could go down here and offer a really tight risk entry. I would like to be ideally be already have the risk reduced or be break even when reaching the consolidation high. So natural gas is interesting. Last look at the interest rate futures ZF. We had this range play opportunity right here. I mean, all that comes from the trend scan. I just remember what we talked about. And that's something you want to do too, right? Have the trend scan in the back of your head as you go through the week. So here on the weekly chart, we've got this range, possible range play. We've been at the bottom range, so we can move to the mid range at least, or to the upper range. That gives long opportunities. Now, this is not yet EMA trending, but it doesn't take long. Maybe it's tomorrow. Tomorrow it could be an EMA trend. This is EMA trending. It used to be a super trend actually. This is EMA trending, so that allows to look for patterns here on a 5 minute. I don't see much, right? That's not great if there's such a strong sell-off. But who knows? Things can develop quite quickly. So this is it. I hope that was of interest.